Jana. I work in the geotechnical field. My job's interesting, exciting. Wait, what? You don't know what the geotechnical field's about? No problem. I have some friends who can help with that.
Hi, I'm Lori Simpson. I'm with Langen Engineering, and I'm on a job site in Oakland, California, where they're going to build a 400-foot tall high-rise. So these are the piles that are going to support that high-rise. It's going to have a basement, so we have a whole lot of shoring in to make this excavation. They're chipping down the piles now to subgrade, and we're out here to watch the piles. We watch the shoring go in, and we're checking the subgrade to make sure that the subgrade is good for a mat foundation that's going to get poured on these piles.
I'm Jules, and I'm managing a crew building a 239-foot diameter unreinforced diaphragm wall shaft.
Hi, my name is Fanny. I'm an assistant project manager with WiDF Foundations. We are currently installing sheet piles for a brace excavation of 14 feet deep.
Hi, I'm Natalia. I work for Tincada Verify as an engineer business manager in Florida. I'm in the field today to install some high-performing fabric.
I'm Peggy. I'm down here mapping out the structure of the sinkhole so that we can put a building on top of it.
I'm a geostructural engineer. I might have designed the dam that powers your city.
I'm a geotechnical contractor. I may have built the foundation of the building that you're in right now.
We manufacture rock drills so contractors can build mountain roads that won't fail.
I manufacture drilling equipment that is sometimes used to search for buried treasure.
I'm a geotechnical engineer. I drill, dig, and explore what's under the ground. I get really muddy.
I build.
I design.
I educate.
I conduct research.
I'm an integral part of this dynamic team.
I manage major projects.
I calculate.
I supply specialty equipment
And materials.
I love what I do.
So, what do you think? Want to know more? I thought you might.
Hello, everyone. Good evening to all who are attending in the evening zone. Good morning, as well as good afternoon to all our participants who are attending from different time zones. Welcome to all to this Women in Deep Foundation 2023 webinar series. This is the first webinar of this series. And the topic that we'll be covering today is opportunities and experiences for women engineers outside India. Now, before we move ahead, we request you to cooperate with few instructions. Recording of this webinar is prohibited. However, online webinar recording will be available on DFI India YouTube channel in 2 weeks' time. So not to worry, so don't take the botheration of recording. Now, coming to this webinar series, we wish and we want that this webinar has to be quite interactive. So we request all the participants to be interactive as much as possible by putting the questions or their views in the chat box any time during the program. And we will see that those questions as well as feedbacks or comments will be taken up. Now, coming to women in DFI, I'm extremely privileged and honored to be here talking about women in the foundation industry. So the mission statement here is, of course, in the video, you would have seen all powerful women coming from different parts or different areas of working in geotechnical industry. And that's what the mission statement is: enhance professional development opportunities for women in the deep foundation industry. With this mission statement, we welcome once again all to today's event. Women in DFI was established in India in 2018. It comprises of both men and women, definitely, to support women working or practicing in any area of foundation industry, leave alone foundation industry, in civil engineering industry. Involvement of male engineers definitely fosters understanding and awareness, as well as sharing of experiences, and helps in bringing about a major change. We have Ms. Lucky Nagarajan as a chair of Women in Deep Foundation Committee, who is very actively involved in various activities of DFI and is an inspiration to many. Women in DFI organizes very interesting, thought-provoking sessions in the annual conference, and few glimpses of those is what you are seeing in the screen right now. So as you can see in the top corner, the first session was Women in Engineering in India, that was held at Gandhinagar, Bushra. Panel discussion during DFI India 2019 again focused on challenges for women in industry, where we had women from different a gap of years talking about the opportunities that they had and the challenges that they had to overcome. So these are some few glimpses of the events that Women in DFI organizes during the annual events. Coming to the next slide. So this is the continuation of the conference events. COVID time, we had online session where we shared the stories of various engineers, especially women engineers from the site. For the year 2021, the same was continued for 2022 as well. Now, coming to, apart from the annual event that we do, we also hold a series of webinars, one which we are having right now. In the past, we have had webinar series, a continuous webinar series on the topic, Connect and Grow. Again, the same topic is what we are having right now. And the subtopics that we covered is bridging academia and practice, education beyond classroom, and foundations for future. So at every step, we take steps to see that how we can empower women or make them comfortable, share their experiences, as well as try to motivate them to be in the industry and keep contributing towards geotechnical engineering. So that's a brief overview of Women in Deep Foundation. Again, once again, welcome to today's webinar, where we will be talking about women engineers outside India. We have wonderful moderator, we have wonderful speakers. So I take the opportunity and the privilege to welcome Ms. Geetanjali Koppulu. She is Senior Manager, Engineers India Limited at Gurgaon. Geetanjali has more than 14 years of experience in the field of refineries, which is again a very specialized field where it's difficult to find women working on the ground. So welcome Geetanjali as a moderator for this session. And her brief bio is there on the screen. However, I would like to share a few of her introduction. That is, she has done her bachelor's from JNTU, and she has done her master's from NIT Warangal. She said one of her challenging projects was in, it was in Kakinada, where 20-meter deep poor soil was found, and that had to be treated for construction of the superstructure. Precast piles as deep as 48 to 50 meters were driven. So that was one of her challenging projects. And I'm sure during the course of this the moderation, she'll be sharing more of her experience. Welcome, Geetanjali.
Thank you very much, Annapurni.
A fun fact is, again, you can see how, again, motivating she is. She's learning French from her son, and she scored 20 out of 40 on a recent surprise test. I'm sure you would have had a great experience, Geetanjali, learning French.
Yes,
and the quote she would like to share is, we first make our habits and then habits makes us. Thank you. Thank you, Geetanjali.
Thank you very much, Annapurni, for introducing me. And good day, everyone. These are some of the photographs actually which I have taken during the site visit. Like one of the, what Annapurni explained, one is for Kakinada site, where we have installed prefabricated vertical drains and used many of the geosynthetic products. And we have gone for the precast segmented piles. And another one captured during a memorable site visit to Visakhapatnam refinery, where we have interacted industry professionals at site. And another, one of the most enriching experience of my professional journey was attending DFI's conference in 2019, which was held in Hyderabad. And I have exchanged knowledge and ideas at various forums. Okay. Now I would like to extend my warm welcome and welcome to all the participants and esteemed panelists joining us today. Before we begin, I want to express my sincere thanks to the DFI team for providing this wonderful platform. Today, we are delighted to present a panel discussion as a part of the Connect and Grow webinar series organized by Women in the Foundation India. This session focuses on the theme of opportunities and experiences for women engineers outside India. In this regard, I would like to introduce our distinguished panelists. First, we have Dr. Minu, an Alexander von Humboldt postdoctoral fellow at RWTHAachen University, Germany. Her CV is detailed here. Minu has completed her PhD in civil engineering from IIT Indore. She did her master's in soil mechanics and foundation engineering from SVNIT Surat, bachelor's degree from College of Engineering Trivandrum. She has received numerous accolades, including Outstanding Student Presentation Award at American Geophysical Union Fall Meeting 2021. She recently honored with the Best Referee Award by the journal Geoscience Frontiers. Additionally, she actively contributes LandAware, the international network on landslide early warning system. And she co-chair of Working Group 7 on operational LEWS. Dr. Minu brings extensive knowledge and expertise in civil engineering with notable achievements and recognition in her field. As she rightly quotes, I can show Pranav. As she rightly quotes, stability is not just about making things stand up, but also about preventing them from falling down. We have a collection of pictures showcasing her significant contributions in this domain. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Minu to provide insights and elaborate on each of these pictures. Dr.
Thank you, Geetanjali ma'am. Yeah, thank you, Geetanjali ma'am, for the nice introduction. I would like to thank DFI also for providing us with this opportunity. I'm very glad to be here. So, yeah, as Geetanjali ma'am rightly said, I was more involved in the landslide research for the past 3 years. My PhD was focused on landslide research for Kerala, and I was also involved on forecasting of landslides for different parts of India, including Darjeeling Himalayas and Uttarakhand. So these are some photographs, like one was where we did a demonstration of ground penetrating radar at IIT Indore campus. And there are a few photographs from the field visit I conducted to Kerala and Uttarakhand. And there are some glimpses from the recently done European Geosciences Union General Assembly, which has happened in Vienna, Austria in the past months. So I presented my work there, and I got chances to meet very senior professionals in the field of geosciences at this particular event. So I had a very wonderful time there. So these are some photographs that I took during these events. And it's very unfortunate that during landslide field visits we generally forget to take photographs, and I have very less photographs with me. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it is very nice to be here, and thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. Thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Bushra Khan, a technical engineer specializing in ground improvement at Bauer International UAE. She started her career in 2016, providing technical assistance to ongoing projects, which gave her exposure to site works. Her aspirations to work on geotechnical designs of projects led her to move into the design of ground improvement techniques, which she finds more interesting and dynamic. She holds a bachelor's degree in geological engineering, and she is planning to pursue her master's degree in geotechnical engineering near future. We extend our heartfelt wishes to Bushra as she joins our panel. With her extensive experience and profound insights in the field of civil engineering, she is a truly valuable addition to our esteemed panel. Her quote says, "Believe you can, and you are halfway there." Today, we have the privilege of presenting a collection of Bushra's photographs, showcasing her remarkable experiences and contributions on numerous project sites. We are excited to call Bushra. Could you please explain, explore
Thank you
these
so much,
photographs?
Yeah, thank you so much, Gitanjali, and the whole team DFI India for having me today. And greetings from my side to everyone listening. So I have interesting stories to share about these photos. Starting with the one, the group photo, and where I am standing instructing something in the left corner. So it's basically was during the Bauer in-house training called BCP, where we had executed 2 model projects. So one was with planning and one without planning. It was basically to emphasize the importance of planning in the project. And the picture below where I am standing at the crane is a very recent one. So we have an ongoing project where we are performing vibro compaction works. And I think here I just wanted to check the maximum pressures we are getting. So I climbed the crane, went to the crane operator and checked the pressures. And here I think looking at the pressures jetting out of the nozzles, water jetting out of the nozzles of the poker. The one in the top right corner where you can see a gigantic casing, it's during the Dubai Metro Extension projects, where we had executed big diameter piles like 2,200 mm and 2,400 mm dia piles. And it was very interesting because that was the first time when I had witnessed such big diameter piles. And the last one, but my most favorite one is where I have covered my whole face with the scarf. So it was back in 2017, my first site temperature was around 40 degrees Celsius, peak summers, June and July in UAE. And I can literally feel the skin burning and the irritation on my skin. So just to avoid that, I had covered my whole face with the scarf. It's a bit funny photo, but very special to me because that was my first site.
Thank you, Bushra. Thank you, Minu. It's nice, wonderful experiences you have shared with us. And now we are excited to start the interactive panel discussion. So without any further delay, I would like to invite both Minu and Bushra once again. We believe that today's discussion will be very highly beneficial, especially for young engineers seeking job opportunities, as well as professionals, experienced professionals looking to expand their understanding of international career prospects. Okay, we kindly request all attendees to post their questions in the Q&A tab during the session. There won't be a separate Q&A session at the end. So please submit your questions promptly. So we aim to address as many questions as possible within the given time. So I welcome you all. I welcome all the participants. And I would like to thank DFI team for providing such a wonderful, great platform to us. Okay. Now actually we have some few questions in our mind. Okay. We'd like to explore the subject of women's safety. Basically, women's safety is much more important in any aspect. In the context of working and living abroad, could you both share your views on these critical aspects, like which countries are safer for women to work and live in? And what are some of the challenges that women engineers may face, and how can they overcome them? We look forward to hearing both of your insights on this aspect.
Shall I start, Minu?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Please, yeah.
Gitanjali, as an expat, I have worked and lived only in UAE. And as per my experience, UAE is very safe for women. In 2020, Dubai was ranked among top 10 safest cities of the world. And since I'm living here, I can vouch for the safety here. The life in UAE as a woman has been very empowering. The workplace harassments are rare, and if such situation arise, I think there are plenty of support establishments, and such behavior is subjected to proper investigation and appropriate action. The street harassments, I would say, are virtually non-existent, and honestly I feel more safe here in UAE than I've ever felt back in my home country. So whether you are taking a stroll down a street at 1 in the morning or you are taking a taxi midnight, you feel completely safe. And you guys might have heard about the narrative of women being elevated and protected as a form of respect in the Emirates, which is totally true. So coming to the second part of the question about the challenges, of course, moving to a new country and that too all alone, it throws a whole bunch of challenges. What toughest for me initially was when I came here, I was all alone without any immediate family member. And being a girl back in my home country, I was too much dependent on my father, that everything was provided at home without any effort made. But when I came here, I had to manage everything on my own. So that was initially very tough. Also, you are far from your family, your friends, no support system, very new to a workplace, and new country. So it sometimes kind of get you a sense of unfamiliarity, as if you don't belong here. But I would say it all gets better within no time. To cope up with it, I'd kind of grown my support system. I did networking, made new friends, and there are many communities here in UAE for each nationality. So you can join those communities to get a sense of belonging. Again, I would say it all gets better within no time. And if I look back, it was nothing and it was all worth it. And if I speak about the professional challenges that I have faced initially, I would say that being a women engineer, and that too coming from a South Asian background, I think there are many things that people would perceive on your behalf. Not that their intentions are wrong or they are trying to pull you down. No, it's just the psychological biases. And what I suggest is let them perceive, but don't let them decide on your behalf. It's your career, take the lead, be very specific and clear about your professional needs, and have the courage to voice those needs out. Because I had encountered one situation where back in 2017, I was supposed to be at site because I was working as a project coordinator for a project. And that time the conditions of the site was very tough. It was June, July, peak summers, temperature was above 40 degrees Celsius. And the site was in the outskirts where the like totally abandoned and deserted land. So they had perceived and decided on my behalf that I would not be able to withstand all those tough conditions and I would not be going to the site. But I wanted to go to the site. I wanted to see how the things work there. And I wanted to see the execution of the board piles work because I had never seen that. I remember that time I was super naive, very low in confidence. I had a hard time even interacting with my colleagues. But I went to my manager. I had a word. He agreed and they sent me to the site. So I stayed and worked at the site for a month and a half. And it was tough, but it was worth it, really. So what I'm trying to convey here that you know your limits and you know your needs too. So stand up, speak up for yourself, because I remember once my director told me, Bushra, if you would not speak up your mind, how would I be able to help you? And that's very true, because when I look back and whatever benefits that I have got up till now in my professional career is whatever I have raised my voice for. So I would say stand up, speak up for yourself, because when you would take your stand, there are many people within the industry that would be happy to help you.
Really great.
I would like to add a bit to that. Regarding the safety concerns, I myself have traveled a lot in India too, during late hours. and like even in Europe. One thing that I found very distinct is that like when I'm here, like even my immediate family is very less concerned about my safety. They have that confidence that like I will be handling my things, particularly because I think even late hours in Europe are very active. Like people are there everywhere, so it's like the probability of getting into a troublesome situation is very less when we compare that to India. Like this, I worked in like I was around staying around 4 years in Gujarat in Surat, and I was staying in a very rural village near to Surat, and I used to travel almost all the time. My trains used to go like around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., these kind of things, and like most of the times what I have seen is like these kind of issues like theft or similar kind of pickpocketers, these kind of issues are there even in Europe, but still we can manage and we can travel more confidently just because of the perception of people, one thing, and people are more accessible, people are everywhere. They do not differentiate between the late hours because everyone is there, like everyone enjoys their life, everyone is out there, like even at late hours. And in India, if I have to go to a site, when I was working as a PhD student, I used to get engaged in many consultancy works. So if I have to go to a consultancy site, I always have to hire a personal car, a private car. I have to travel by a car because of lack of public transportation. Here, everyone travels in public transportation. So it's like always crowded. Always people are there. So this is a very important aspect that we have to improve in India. Like more people should use public transport. Like if you see in Mumbai, like everyone travels like in the city areas. But if you go to rural India, like we do not even have public transportation to go to every field that we are getting. So this is an important aspect. But if every place is accessible, we will be less concerned about safety. This is one important aspect that I saw in Europe.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And like Bushra, actually we have one question from our audience. Isi Kalyani ji, she's asking how can you manage with that climatic conditions? Like in UAE, the climatic conditions will be much more challenging.
Honestly, the climate conditions are very tough outdoors. But it's like if you want to do something, Gitanjali, you find a way out. Like I told you that when I was in the site, my first site was 40 degrees Celsius that time. And I wanted to go there. I wanted to do it. So I managed it. I find a way out too, because being a woman, I wanted that glue on my face, of course, right? So I covered my whole face with a scarf. And yes, indoors is fine because there's air conditioners 24/7, but outdoors of course they are tough. So again, if you want to do, you find a way out and you would do. It's tough, but it's not something that I would say that as a girl you would not be able to do. No, you can do that. And it's not that you are at the site for 6 or 7 hours continuously. No, you can be at site for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You can go back, relax, then come back again to see how the things are working there. So it's tough, but it's not impossible, only if you want to do that.
Yeah, thank you. It says that everything is possible.
Of course.
Yeah. Bushra, actually, one of the question from our audience, Madhuri Murali, she's asking how you guys handle balancing work, like in that stressful period, and as well as you are abroad out of India, and with your family might not be with you, right?
Yeah.
And do you limit your work hours or matter how to get external support? How will you get external support? What external support will you get?
Actually, as I told Gitanjali, that when I came here, that was the toughest for me, that I'm alone, no family, no friends. But with the time, I think you kind of grow your support system. As I told, do networking, make new friends. Your colleagues also are normally very alone there. Their family members are back in their home countries. So maintain a good support system with them, kind of interact with them. And after some time, I think they would become your family if they are supportive and they are good. So your co-workers become your family. And I would say I'm very lucky in this regard because I'd had amazing co-workers. So since our families are not here, and we celebrate our festivals together, we hang out during the public holidays. So it all gets better. And I told you that there are many communities for each nationality here in UAE. You can join those communities, and they have various events. So you feel that you are not away from your home, and you can get a sense of belonging here. I think my answer clarifies.
Yeah, I would like to add a bit to that. Like this is my practice. Like when I was in India, like I used to spend more time with my friends. Because when I was doing my PhD, of course, PhD is not an 8 hours job because I used to work from 16 to 20 hours a day when I was doing my PhD. So it was like very less time for family, very less time for anything else. So, but when I came here, it's like more or less like most of my colleagues are living with their family. I'm the only single person who is living. Other than that, there are students. So PhD students, they live in like hostel kind of setup. So they have their own groups. But while I am living alone without a kind of like an immediate colleague group, a personal friends group, or like a family around. So what we do generally here is like we strictly restrict our working hours to 8 hours. So right now, when my family is in India, I know that they will be like we have a 3.5 hours time zone difference also. So I definitely spend like 1 to 2 hours every day on call with both with my family and my in-laws. Everyone. So this is very important quality time that I spare every day, maybe 1 to 3 hours every day. So this is very important for me, and I particularly take care that I spend that time every day immediately after I go home. So that's how I plan. So our working hours is very flexible. So I usually come to office like around 6:30 a.m. and I usually go back like around 5 a.m., 5 p.m. so that I can spend time with my family too every day. So that I can keep in touch with them, and I'm really not missing them, or I do not miss anything that is going on at my family too. Yeah, that's how I do it right now.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
And
Very nice.
Bushra, Minu, one more thing actually, doing PhD itself is a big task, right?
Yeah.
And going abroad and doing postdoctoral, what inspire you to do, and what motivation you got?
Yeah, so actually doing PhD itself, like particularly when I was working, I got a very supportive supervisor from St. University from IIT Indore, and I also had a co-supervisor from UK Sydney. So they both were very supportive but very demanding. So I had to complete my PhD whole research in around 2.5 years. So, and like I was going on a very tight schedule during my PhD. So my motivations were almost set by both my supervisors. My co-supervisor, Professor Pradhan, he himself was a Humboldt fellow, and he's like top 1% cited researchers. And also my Nilima ma'am is also a JSPS postdoc. So they both motivated me always about their experiences that they had and how their postdoctoral experiences changed their vision about research, how an international experience can help us to grow. So both of them always told me like you have to get either a JSPS or a Humboldt. Like this is like you can do this, and this experience have made very significant changes in our life. So we want you also to get experience, get this experience. So this is purely my motivation, and that is how I decided to apply for both. And before submitting my application to JSPS, I got into Humboldt. So then I came here. Yeah.
It's really good.
So I had just started initially.
Yeah. Okay, good. Like what working environments in academia, like in both India and abroad, what are the differences? Like you can incite them. Like you have gone through PhD from India, and you have gone through the postdoctoral from abroad.
Yeah. So one thing that I would like to say is one thing, very important thing would be like the hierarchy in academia and everywhere in India. We have a very strict hierarchy to follow. Like there is a supervisor, there is a student, and it's like we always have this dilemma to talk to like your supervisor. In my case, I was very privileged to have a very encouraging supervisor, but that is not the case in most places in India. Like you're often afraid to talk to your supervisor or have a very open discussion with your supervisor. This is not the case that we see in Europe. Like I can here I do not have I have a host, academic host, but even the PhD students over here, they can also always, they're very free and very to discuss, to have a discussion with their supervisor. The supervisors can be demanding, but they always respect you. Like the respect that you get as a student is very significant over here. And also the working hours. Like in India, I was on a very tight schedule. I never cared about my the working hours, how much time I was always focused on the goal. Okay, this is good in one way, but here it's very strict, and people generally strictly follow that you have an 8 hours working hours. Like you have to have enough family time. You never work on weekends. So a working culture itself is very different. So your PhD in Germany is always treated as a job. Like you are given a job, you have to do that. You work for 8 hours, you have your family time. This work-life balance is very specific in Europe. This is one major difference that I have seen in academia and the research culture. So in India, we work very hard. In Europe, people work more smart. I should say that. Yeah.
It's quite like we thought of like in everywhere abroad, time schedule is much more important. Like they will fix the schedule, not
We
like
fix the
we
schedule.
work for the entire day.
Entire day,
Like India. It's really good actually.
Mental
From
health
you.
is equally important. People consider it very seriously.
And family also at the same time, quality time you can spend.
That is very important.
All right. In this regard, can you suggest a few fellowship schemes for geotechnical engineers from India who would like to pursue their research and abroad?
Okay, so I have particularly if you're talking about research, I would say some postdoctoral fellowship like the Alexander von Humboldt fellowship, which I have received, and then JSPS is a very good fellowship that Japan is offering. Then there is Swiss government fellowships. JSPS also has master's level and PhD level programs from the MEXT fellowship scheme. Also, we have Fulbright Nehru scholarships and Fulbright Kalam scholarships to the US. And to Germany, there is also DAD, the DAAD, which is offering both PhD fellowships, short-term visit fellowships, and also there are a master's fellowship for that.
Just a second, I would like to interrupt. Please, audience, can you please note down so that you can able to apply all those things, whatever Minu is telling, right? Yeah, please continue. Sorry.
So there is that, and there is also Indo-German Science Technology Council, IGSTC. IGSTC is offering various fellowships. There is a fellowship during PhD that you can do for a short-term exchange visit to Germany, and there is a specific industrial fellowship which is very interesting. After your doctoral studies, you can have a 1 to 2 years fellowship where you can get exposure to an industrial firm in Germany. This is also possible with IGSTC, and also the IGSTC is offering a specific program for women who are working in research organizations or academic institutions. An applicant can be both either German or Indian. You get a fellowship for up to 3 years where you can have a 1 month visit to the other country every year. So there are numerous funding agencies who are offering this postdoctoral and doctoral fellowships and short-term exchange programs where you can have international experiences. So you get funded. The usual procedure is that you find an academic host in the country that you want to study or you want to do your research, and then write a proposal, get the funding approved, and then you can travel. So this is a very good opportunity that you can think about if you're doing your PhD or you're looking for postdoctoral options.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing such a wonderful, like all the grants and all the research programs you have explained. I would like to request once again the audience to post their questions in Q&A tab. Okay. In line with this, actually one more question. Somebody post that question, but name is not mentioned. I'm pursuing masters in geotechnical engineering, but interested to choose geo-environmental engineering. Can you suggest ways to choose good project and how would be in future? And you have any idea, please share with us. Because the world is now working and choosing work on sustainability. Actually, she is more interested in, she or he may be most interested to do geo-environmental engineering. Minu, could you? She
Yeah,
wants to. Mm.
Yeah, I would like to say that there are many projects that are going on across the world on geoenvironmental engineering, particularly on this what do you say this in immobilizing these very toxic materials, also like the leachate or the penetration that is going on. When we think about sustainability, geoenvironmental engineering has a lot of applications, but the industries that are focused on geoenvironmental engineering, we have like the companies. When you search like in India, uh, we have very less people who are focused, like we have many companies on geosynthetics who are working particularly on this landfills and all those things. We have many geosynthetic companies that are working on. So if you're interested in geoenvironmental research or in the industry programs, you can definitely uh, turn your way to geosynthetics as well. And abroad also we have many interesting projects. Particularly, I recently have had a look on a project with the Norwegian Geotechnical Institute. They have a very devoted section for geo-environmental related problems, particularly geochemistry and the pollutants and pollutant controls to the ocean as well. So there are many companies working on. So if you have an interest on geo-environmental engineering, definitely you should pursue that, and you should get involved in projects in India too. Like maybe you can have research experience or consultancy experiences with the leading institutes that are available in India, so that you can gain work experience and then look options for abroad. That would be a good uh, thing to start with if you have an interest in geoenvironmental engineering.
Yeah, thank you. Bushra, one question actually from the audience, from the participants. Tasli, she or he is asking, doing PhD in Kerala. She would like to know the companies are chances of getting hired in geotechnical companies in Dubai, especially in Dubai.
Okay. So she's currently in India, right?
Yeah, she's
She's
in
working.
Kerala. She's
Okay.
doing, she or he maybe doing MTech in Kerala. She's a student.
Okay. So to land a job here in UAE, I would suggest that you first dig out your interest, where you exactly want to work, because there are many fields where you can work and opt a job. So what I would say is, first enlist the companies, search what companies are working here in UAE. So enlist the companies, and then you can go to their website and register there. Because normally companies are kind of floating the jobs in their online portals as well. Apart from them, I think LinkedIn these days is a very powerful network. So again, I would suggest you to check the companies where you would be interested to working in it, and then follow the pages of the companies, because these days companies are posting their vacancies and jobs in on LinkedIn accounts. So maintain a good LinkedIn profile and keep an eye on the job postings. Other than that, in UAE, I would say that there are many websites like Indeed.com and BAYT Bait, Naukri Gulf Talents. So you can register in all those websites for free, and on daily basis they are posting many jobs. Again, keep an eye, register on those websites for free, and then you can apply. Besides that, I think Khalij Times is a very strong network here in UAE, and even the public sector is mostly posting the jobs in the Khalij Times. So, and they have many pages in Instagram and Facebook, and even in the LinkedIn. Again, go follow the pages and keep an eye on the postings. If you are a fresher, I would say that there is a myth that in UAE freshers are not welcomed, and you have to have a 3 to 4 years experience, which is not true, because I myself got a job as a fresher. So, and the way I see it, I think in UAE there are certain vacancies where the employers would prefer a fresher over somebody who has 3 to 4 years experience, because it is believed that a fresher can be easily trained to adapt to fit a certain job role, comparative to person who has 3 to 4 years experience and has already ingrained certain working habits. So again, if you have a potential to make an impact and you can add value to the organization, you would be given equal opportunity.
This will be very useful for young engineers who are about to join their profession. Grab that
Yes.
opportunity, definitely. And what are the potential benefits of acquiring international work experience for women engineers in career growth as well as personal development?
There are countless benefits and I think plenty of opportunities for women while working abroad, because moving abroad for work, I think itself, it's like stepping out of your comfort zone, and whenever you step out of it, you kind of adapt, you excel, and you grow. So regarding to the professional or career growth, I would say the key benefit is that it expands your professional network. You got to work with the people from different parts of the world, you connect with them, you gain a global perspective, and you build a global network. And your professional contacts, I would say, are a very powerful tool, because in longer run it can open opportunities for open doors for many opportunities for you. And in addition, I think it makes you more marketable, because it expands your skill set. Again, you are working in a diverse team where there are people from different parts of the world. You connect with them, diverse culture. You connect with people from different parts of the world. So you kind of introduce to new ideas, new techniques, new skill set, and it brings together diverse perspective, which in turn kind of support innovation and broadens your view. And apart from that, in UAE, there are many companies that are conducting in-house training for to improve the skill set of their employees, which is, I think, very good. Besides, I think it improves your soft skills as well, which is very important in your personality development, because international experience requires you to be more adaptable and more flexible. Again, you have to work with different people, very different from you. So you learn team working, you learn adaptability, flexibility, and most importantly, I think it improves your confidence and your communication skills, because I know for a fact that how much I have improved in confidence. I was very low in confidence, Gitanjali. I remember, but today I am sitting with you guys interacting here. It means my confidence has improved. Again, and yes, a candidate that has a very strong technicalities and very strong educational background, but is not able to put his point to the table, or is not able to communicate effectively, is unfortunately a not good fit for a workplace. And lastly, but I think most important for me, I would say that it teaches you acceptance, because when you work with different people, different perspectives, different views, different beliefs, and sometimes you encounter people you share no commonalities with, but when you work with them and you interact with them, it kind of takes you towards an inward journey where you realize that yes, they're different, but they're beautiful human beings. And the world we are living in today, I think, needs more acceptance. And I firmly believe that the moment we learn acceptance, we definitely win at life.
Yeah, thank you. Here I would like to share one of my experience. Actually, we also thought of going abroad and we don't go, and we have some communication skills after post graduation and everything. Once we join in our job area, like we used to get communication with each and every person, like elders. We have to give how to deal with them, how to go interact with them. We hesitate to go with them. We don't even talk with the higher officials, but once we started our career, so the interaction is much more important in all respect. If we interact with any of them, definitely it will improve. Thank you.
And I think initially you will think that you would not be able to do that, but once you are in a spotlight, you will manage to do.
Right, good encouragement, motivation for each and everyone. Here one question actually. Nowadays, the statistics shows that women in the industry has remained fairly static. Although the overall number of women in science, technology, engineering, math has increased. One of the causes identified for this is dropout rate in women engineers around the time they start their family. The dilemma at this stage is often, how does this affect career progression in the future. Dr. Minu, have you experienced or seen any of your senior colleagues go through issues that crop up these type of unconscious bias?
Okay. So I would like to say that not just like senior colleagues, I have seen many people who are doing this. This is a very cultural thing that we particularly see in India. In Europe, I have seen very different things. So particularly what I want to say that the expectations that the Indian culture has from women is mostly very biased, and it usually demands that all the household responsibilities like raising the kids or cooking or doing the household jobs, everything is the sole responsibility of women. So this has been in our culture for a very long time, and this has critically affected the career growth of women engineers, unfortunately. So if you're an IT field, or if you're in working where you have a work from home option, this generally don't affect you much, because you can always work from home. You don't have to relocate, you don't have to be away from your family. So this is a very comfortable thing. But unfortunately for civil engineers, or particularly geotechnical engineers, you have to be there on the field, and your job always demands you to be working very near to the field. You have to have occasional field visits. So this is a very demanding job in terms of your time, in terms of your availability. So many people often, after their marriage or when they start their family, they often relocate to wherever their partner is working or where their spouse is working, and then they try to find a job, mostly a 9 to 5 job, so that they can come back and take care of the household activities as well. So the reverse has also happened, but if I check the numbers from my friends or my classmates, like I can say, like when from our batch, we were studying like 120 students in a batch from civil engineering background. So maybe like half of them were women, but 1 or 2 of them got married to partners who actually relocated for them and found a separate job. But in most of the cases, women always drop their career and then settle for something, have a compromise there. Okay, I can manage for something where I can earn and be with my family. So women always do this compromise in India, unfortunately. But what I have seen here is very different. They have very strong maternal or parental policies, and which are very supportive for having a very good family life. Parental leave here is common for both male and female. They accept that parenting is the responsibility of both men and women. So, and also the household jobs. All my male co-workers over here, they do the household jobs equally, just like their spouses or their partners. So this is a very important difference that I see in the culture of India and Europe. And I hope that in future, we can see much different things in India, where the expectations from women and men will get normalized, and we can come across, or we can reduce this gender gap in this particular domain.
Yeah, sure. And Bushra, could you please tell how do you or the industry around you plan to tackle these universal unconscious bias?
I think
like in the industry part.
Yeah. I think, Gitanjali, we definitely need to tackle this, because the way I see is it's affecting our career progressions also. For example, if I'm applying for a role, or maybe I'm expecting a promotion, the employer may prefer a male candidate over me. Because of that dilemma, my probability of leaving the company is more as compared to my male colleague. And there are, I think, there are many factors that are responsible for that. And no matter how much we deny it and we say that the times are changing, but still civil engineering is a male dominant industry. And the opportunities for women in this field is less as compared to men, especially in the South Asian countries. Many organizations are underpaying the women. There exists a lack of job satisfaction because not enough challenging roles are provided to the women. In some corporate cultures, there exists work-life imbalance. And with all those challenges and the responsibility of the families, I think the pressure on the women is intense. And as per my belief, they are indirectly forced to choose either between their families and their career, which is definitely an unconscious bias, because still there are people that believe that a career in engineering is not feasible for women. And these assumptions and beliefs, I think, has a strong withhold in the minds of the younger generation, and it affects the way they act, they think, and make choices in life. Like, for example, if a young girl encounters such situation, so rather than making a tough choice and taking her stand, she gives up. She either leave the job or she choose an alternate career path. And the root cause, in my opinion, is that we do not have enough role models within the engineering sectors that can inspire and encourage more female students. And I think we need to kind of tackle this, and it's vital for us, I think, to and need of our also to create a strong network of women, so that the young generation have kind of mentors they can look up to, and they can reach out to for help. And it would definitely help in breaking those unconscious biases and psychological barriers, because I think with that strong networking, the young girls would have exposure. And in future, if a girl would like to take a stand and would like to continue pursuing her career, it would not make her feel that she is blazing the trail or she is the one doing that. No, she has seen many women done that due to these strong networking. So many women have done that, many women are doing that, and she can do that too. So I think those psychological barriers need to be dealt psychologically. And for that, I think we need to have effective communication, and we need to create strong networks. We need to bring more women from the industry to have interactive sessions like the one we are having now with the young engineers, with the students from universities, in colleges, where we can share our stories, our experiences, and the way how we have paved our path in the industries. And I think it would definitely help in breaking those stereotypes. Apart from that, the way I see it, I think organizations must have a sense of equity in mind while framing up their organization policies, because a woman has to give birth, a man can't do that, of course. A woman has to take care of her family, and a woman has to do the job also. So what I feel that women has to perform multiple obligations and responsibilities, and which is why at some points I think we need equity more than equality. So organizations must provide, I think, better job opportunities and better roles to the women engineers, improve leave policies, flexible working hours, and a culture that can benefit women before and after a childbirth. Because in the end, a workplace that is more diverse and gender balanced, that is representing all parts of the society, I think it's more healthy than a biased one, and we have to make sure that we are not missing out on any female talent.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely, as a woman in deep foundations, India also will look after what are the challenges, how to
and yes,
tackle all
you
of
guys
them.
are doing the great job. This is what I was talking about, the networking, strong network of the women, where we can bring the women from the field. This is a very good thing that you are doing.
One of my experience I can share you, like after my comeback from my maternity leave, actually for us, they have given, industry has given 6 months of maternity leave. After comeback from my maternity leave, I faced so many issues, like whatever you said. All the people, I was thinking all the people gone long far away from me. They are much more like that. I had a doubt whether I can able to continue or not. Such type of doubt also we faced. And later on, we as a in our organization, we have framed up certain facility like M2M program, like mother to mother program. We have organized, like we used to conduct mentors to all the mothers who are recently got mothers, like young for the young mothers. We used to mentor them. How to no need of leaving job, how can you handle. And we have a facility of crèche in our office recently we have started.
That's very nice to know.
Such type of initiatives we have taken. I definitely agree all the points with you, and I think our management, our women in deep foundation, also will take certain initiatives to how to do like this.
I think because eventually women have to help women, right? So we have to help each other.
Yeah, sure. And actually time is running out. I just want to one last question. We would be very keen to know perspective on the level of salary necessary to ensure a satisfying and fulfilling life in abroad.
Okay, so who would answer, me or Dr. Minu?
Yeah, you can answer. Minu can add.
I think to your disappointment, Gitanjali, I think I would not be able to put a certain figure because it's very subjective. A figure might work well for me, but not for you, depending upon our lifestyles. But what can I say is, if you are a fresher, I think I would suggest to be more focused on getting the experience, getting the required skill set. And once you get that required skill set, you can request for a raise, or maybe you can switch job for a raise. But make sure you are not underpaid. You are not underpaid, and your salary must cover your basic expenses. Like here in UAE, the main expense is the house rents, and a considerable amount of salary goes to that. So even if you are a bachelor and you are renting a room in a shared apartment, which normally people do, it costs you around 2 to 3,000 AED, depending upon the location. Also, bear in mind the transportation cost, because some companies are providing the transportation, some are not. So consider the transportation cost to and from your workplace, and evaluate your basic needs. Do the proper groundwork. You may talk to a friend if any of your friend is working here in UAE, and do a proper groundwork. And after that, consider a certain figure that you expect for a salary. Again, I would say make sure you are not underpaid. And if you are experienced and you are confident, you have required skill set, and you are confident that you are a good fit for the job, I would say to check the company's profile that is offering you the job, the company's capabilities, their resources, their annual turnover maybe, or the employee satisfaction. There are few websites, like told you, BAYT and Glassdoor, that is providing the company reviews. So you can check those websites. Also, you can recruit with some you can enroll yourself with some recruitment consultants, so you can get a nice range of the salary that as per the market standard for that specific roles. So again, do the proper evaluation and put a good figure to the table. Of course, it should be practical as per the market standards, but it should be fulfilling and satisfactory as well.
Okay.
I would like to add to that you have to take care of the purchasing power parity. It's an index, or it's a rate of currency conversion that equalize the purchasing power of different countries. So like for Indian rupee, and when you compare it with euro, there will be a certain purchasing power parity. So suppose if we have like maybe 3 or 4 purchasing power parity, so your expected salary should always be like it should not be based on simple the currency conversion rate. Suppose if I am getting maybe 2,000 euros here, I should not directly convert it to now it's like Indian rupees like 80 to 1. So okay, maybe so 2,000 into 80. This is not the math I should be doing. Instead, and I'm getting like around 1 lakh something rupees in India. So that is much better than that I was getting. So this is not how you should do the math. You should understand the purchasing power parity. And if I was getting around 80,000 rupees in India, I would have to earn much more than that in Europe to have a same standard of living. So you should always understand what is the purchasing power parity of the particular currency that you're looking into, and you should do the math and propose a salary based on the purchasing power parity, so that you can have the same standard of living. Because the rent prices, just like Bushra said, all the prices will be much higher than what was in your home country. So you have to take care of that too while proposing a salary.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, this motivates even me and participants, that they encouraged work and work abroad actually. And this makes this webinar basically encourages everyone to go work and abroad.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bushra and Minu. It is really interesting and informative discussion. Unfortunately, actually, we have exceeded our allotted time. No problem. We have made an
Thank you
effort to
so much, Gitanjali and the whole team DFI India for having me. And I feel honored to be speaking here. And I'm looking forward for more interactive sessions in the future.
Yeah, same for me. Very big thank you for the whole
we
team.
made we made an effort to address as many questions as possible, but still some unanswered questions will be there. They can please contact with us, and we are here to help you. I extend my sincere gratitude to all the participants and the entire DFI India and the Women in Deep Foundation India team. I would like to express special thanks to Annapurni for motivating and inspiring us to conduct this webinar series, which has proven to be extremely valuable for young engineers. Lastly, the coming webinar to be decided, and the speakers and dates will be announced soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. It was a wonderful discussion, Minu, Bushra, Gitanjali. It was really inspiring, and I think you got a testimonial as well in the during the chat itself. So you have motivated quite a few of them to at least think and take steps to move out of the country and look at the opportunities. Of course, India has plethora of opportunities. There's no doubt in that, but still, it's a different experience. And so, thanks a lot. It was wonderful. And before I end, I would just say that, our inspiration shall not be only limited to, our field only. Okay, we should also look at inspirations beyond our field. Doctors, emergency doctors who work in that field, they are demanded at any time, right? So family life is nearly zero to them. And if you have seen this year in 2024, Republic Day Parade will be dominated by women defense officers. Okay, so these are the inspirations that we should be definitely looking up. Of course, we are there for each other, but beyond that also we should look. So with that, we end the session. So DFI looks forward to meet you again the next program. Stay safe and take very good care of yourself. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
With this, we end the session. Thank you.
Thank you.
a lot.
Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.